that this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
I can't believe it. Like that somebody would do that to somebody that they say they love.
Yeah.
Think about it, because she was on the floor, passed out. She looked lifeless, and he was kicking her.
The rumors swirling around seeing Diddy comms just keep getting wilder, and the latest news is shocking, to say the least. Apparently, things have taken a dark turn for Diddy while he's locked up. Sources are claiming that he's been seriously hurt in prison after an alleged attack by a fellow inmate. Insiders are saying that he was targeted by someone connected to a notorious gang, and now he's fighting for his life in intensive care. Is this really happening? Could one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry actually be facing such a grim reality? Let's break it all down and get into what might have led to this.
Clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
First off, it's important to remember that Diddy's current situation isn't just another celebrity scandal. This is a man who's been accused of some pretty serious things, charges that have rocked both the music world and the public's perception of him. After his arrest, it became clear that Diddy wasn't just dealing with legal issues. He's become a potential threat to those who were once closest to him. We're talking about years of alleged criminal activity that could expose secrets within the highest circles of the entertainment industry. And now, someone apparently wants him silenced before he spills everything.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
The fact that Diddy was attacked in prison adds a whole new layer of drama. Prison insiders have described the place where Diddy is being held, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, as a notoriously dangerous and grim facility. It's known for overcrowding, violence, and horrific living conditions. Some high-profile inmates, like Ghislaine Maxwell and R. Kelly, have been held there, and it's far from the luxurious life Diddy was used to. To be thrown into such an environment, especially given his status, was always going to be risky. And now, after this alleged incident, it seems like Diddy's worst nightmare is coming true.
And is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being. They have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
Rumors are swirling that someone with deep connections to the criminal underworld was behind the attack, aiming to send Diddy a clear message. Keep your mouth shut. The logic behind this is pretty simple. Diddy's been involved in the industry for decades, and over that time, he's likely gathered dirt on some of the most powerful and influential people in music, entertainment, and beyond. These aren't just small-time players. We're talking about individuals who would have every reason to want their secrets buried. And if Diddy starts talking, the fallout could be catastrophic. Now, let's not forget why Diddy's in prison to begin with. The charges against him are severe, with allegations ranging from trafficking to racketeering. When he was arrested, it wasn't just some spur-of-the-moment thing. It followed months, if not years, of investigation by federal authorities who were apparently building a rock-solid case against him.
What's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
What's interesting is that Diddy wasn't just quietly taken into custody. He was reportedly cooperative and even accepted the charges, having relocated to New York in advance of his arrest. This makes it seem like Diddy knew what was coming and maybe even thought he could manage the situation. But as we can see now, things have spiraled out of his control.
To me, this sounds like a very toxic work environment. What is your take on that?
Toxic, but this is illegal behavior. You cannot put this is battery. It's criminal battery.
The prison where Diddy is being held, the Metropolitan Detention Center, is infamous for its appalling conditions, and it's no wonder that someone with Diddy's reputation might face real danger there. The place has been called hell on earth by some former inmates, and stories of violence, power outages, freezing temperatures, and limited access to medical care are all part of the facility's long-standing problems.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released to his mansion.
Inmates are packed into small cells, often with only minimal supervision, and reports of stabbings, violent altercations, and even fatalities inside the prison have made headlines in recent years. In 2019, the facility was plunged into chaos during a blackout that left inmates in total darkness and freezing conditions for nearly a week. This incident led to protests and a subsequent investigation by the Department of Justice, but the problems at the facility remain largely unresolved.
He will not go to prison for the time that they want to give him is if he start giving them something.
Add to that the fact that the prison is severely understaffed, operating with only about half of the necessary personnel, and it's clear that keeping Diddy safe in such an environment was always going to be a challenge. Given this backdrop, the idea that someone managed to get to Diddy inside the prison starts to make a lot more sense. It's not just about the poor conditions. It's also about the prison's reputation for being a place where things can happen behind closed doors, without much oversight.
They have people want to make up stuff, but they got people who was there that was witness and speaking about it.
High-profile inmates like Diddy often have targets on their backs, and with his long list of enemies and former associates, the stakes are even higher. Let's not forget what U.S. District Judge Robin Tarnowski said when denying Diddy's bail. She made it clear that Diddy's history of violence, his connections, and his immense wealth made him a significant flight risk and a danger to the community. The judge's decision to keep him locked up until his trial was based on concerns that he might try to obstruct justice or intimidate witnesses.
Is he controlling? Yes, he is. Will he put his hands on a female? Yes, he will. Would he put his hands on a male producer or anything? Yes, he will.
And now, with these latest developments, it seems like those concerns were valid. Whether or not Diddy planned to cooperate with authorities, his knowledge of other powerful figures in the industry, and their involvement in illegal activities could potentially lead to a massive unraveling of secrets. Diddy's arrest came after an extensive federal investigation, which involved serving hundreds of subpoenas, executing numerous search warrants, and collecting an immense amount of digital evidence. The fact that federal prosecutors have spoken about dozens of terabytes of data related to the case suggests that this isn't just about Diddy himself. There's a larger web of individuals and operations involved. Prosecutors have pointed to the fact that Diddy's business empire was used as a front for criminal activities, with a long-standing pattern of abuse, exploitation, and intimidation. His former girlfriend, Cassie, for example, was a central figure in one of the lawsuits that kicked off this whole investigation. Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in late 2023, described years of physical and emotional torment, and while that case was settled privately, the allegations against Diddy continued to pile up. But even more unsettling were the reports of hidden cameras at his infamous parties, where high-profile figures from the entertainment industry were allegedly caught on tape engaging in compromising activities. These tapes, if they exist, could be the key to understanding why so many powerful people would want to see Diddy silenced. Imagine the kind of information that might be buried in those recordings, and it becomes clear why Diddy's life could be in serious danger.
You pay those lawyers to know. Those lawyers know what he's going to beat, and these lawyers know what he ain't gonna be.
For years, Diddy's extravagant lifestyle was the stuff of legend. From his lavish homes in Los Angeles and Miami to his notorious parties on Star Island, he was known for pushing boundaries and creating a culture of excess. But beneath all the glitz and glamour, there were always whispers of something darker. Rumors of shady business dealings, secret alliances, and a violent temper followed him throughout his career, and now it looks like all of that might be catching up with him.
Not only should he have apologized to Cassie in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
Yeah. The federal indictment against Diddy is a stark reminder of just how deep these allegations go. Prosecutors have accused him of using his influence to create a network of individuals who were not just complicit in his activities, but actively involved in helping him maintain control over his empire.
So there are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
This wasn't just about making money. It was about power, control, and ensuring that no one could challenge him without facing the consequences. And now, with all of this potentially coming to light, it's clear that Diddy is facing not only legal battles, but also life-threatening danger from those who fear what he might reveal. The events leading up to Diddy's arrest were months in the making. Federal authorities raided his homes in Los Angeles and Miami earlier this year, seizing everything from electronics to incriminating documents. They even found firearms, including 3 AR-15 rifles with defaced serial numbers, adding yet another layer to the charges against him. At this point, it's clear that Diddy wasn't just another celebrity caught up in scandal. He's at the center of an investigation that could shake the entertainment industry to its core. But the question remains, how far will people go to keep him quiet?
I ain't gonna lie.
As we continue to follow this story, it's becoming more and more obvious that Diddy's situation is far more dangerous than anyone might have initially thought. The prison attack, while shocking, may only be the tip of the iceberg. Diddy's involvement in some of the most controversial moments in entertainment history, combined with his alleged knowledge of incriminating secrets, has made him a prime target. And with his condition reportedly critical after the attack, one can't help but wonder if this is just the beginning of an even darker chapter in the saga of Seeing Diddy Combs. So, who could be behind the attack on Diddy? That's the big question everyone's asking right now. And the possibilities are endless. Let's be real, Diddy's been around for decades and he's rubbed elbows with some of the most influential and powerful people in the entertainment industry. But with power comes enemies, and Diddy has made plenty over the years. It's no secret that he's been associated with some pretty shady characters and has always seemed to walk that fine line between fame and infamy. Could this attack be tied to the people who want him silenced before he reveals their secrets?
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it.
Diddy's rise to the top was anything but clean. From the very beginning, there were always whispers about how he navigated the music industry and how he maintained his power. A lot of people believe Diddy didn't just rely on his business acumen or his talent to make it big. He allegedly had something else in his arsenal. Information. That's right. Diddy has long been rumored to keep dirt on the people around him. The kind of information that, if it ever saw the light of day, could bring entire careers crashing down.
So, it's just crazy. Just read.
There have been stories floating around for years that Diddy secretly recorded everything that went down at his infamous parties. These weren't just any parties either. These were over-the-top, exclusive gatherings filled with celebrities, top executives, and even some political figures. It was the kind of scene where anything could happen, and often did. It's said that hidden cameras were placed all over his properties, capturing every wild moment without the knowledge of his guests. Just imagine the kind of leverage he could have collected over the years. Celebrities behaving badly, executives caught doing things they'd never want made public. Diddy would have it all on tape. Rumors suggest that Diddy used this footage to ensure his power was never threatened. The idea was simple. As long as he had compromising information on everyone, no one could turn against him. It's been said that Diddy's entire empire was built not just on music, but on manipulation and blackmail. Whether or not these rumors are true, the whispers have persisted. And now with him sitting in prison, there's the fear that all of that dirt could be handed over to the authorities. This is what has many people on edge. If Diddy flips and starts talking, who knows how many high-profile names could be exposed? We're talking about careers ending, reputations destroyed, and even legal consequences for those caught up in whatever Diddy's been sitting on all these years. It's not hard to see why certain people might be desperate to keep him quiet at all costs. This isn't just about protecting their image. It's about survival in a cutthroat industry where one wrong move can spell the end.
Can't just keep changing the top layer. You got to do some real internal work, and you have all the money, all the resources to have access to the best everything. Stop spending the money and using the resources to attempt to cover up your lies, and start using the money and the resources to deal with your truth.
Diddy has always been surrounded by controversy. He's been linked to some of the most infamous incidents in hip-hop history, and his name has come up time and time again in connection with violent altercations. One of the biggest scandals that continues to haunt him is the unsolved assassination of his close friend and collaborator, the notorious B.I.G. Many have speculated that Diddy knew more about the situation than he ever let on. Some even claim that he was involved in the East Coast V's West Coast feud that ultimately led to B.I.G.'s untimely passing. While none of these allegations have been proven, the fact that Diddy has always managed to stay above the fray has led many to wonder just how deep his involvement might have been.
I think industry talk, there's a lot of people who have worked for him. There's been stories around, which is, not necessarily unusual.
In fact, Diddy's connection to violence doesn't stop there. Over the years, he's been involved in multiple legal battles and accusations of assault. One of the most talked about incidents was a nightclub altercation in 1999, where a gunfight erupted, leaving several people injured. Diddy, who was present, managed to dodge serious legal consequences, but the event only added to his reputation as someone with dangerous connections. His ability to avoid major repercussions in situations like this only fueled the rumors that he had powerful people protecting him, and possibly even that he was pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Diddy has been under criminal investigation for months by federal prosecutors here in New York. And if there are criminal charges, many of them may look a lot like what some of these individuals have been describing.
But here's the thing. When you play that kind of game, you're bound to make enemies. And Diddy has certainly done that. He's crossed paths with some dangerous individuals, and while he's managed to survive up until now, being in prison changes everything. Suddenly, the power he once held on the outside doesn't seem so secure. The people he once manipulated or threatened might see this as their chance to strike. It's entirely possible that the recent attack was orchestrated by someone who wants to make sure Diddy never gets the opportunity to expose what he knows.
Don had the choice to file the case as a Jane Doe,
And she chose not to do that. After giving it a fair amount of thought, she wants accountability. She wants justice.
Then there's the fact that Diddy's legal troubles aren't going away anytime soon. The charges he's facing are serious: racketeering, conspiracy, and other crimes that could land him in prison for the rest of his life if convicted. Federal authorities have built a strong case against him, and there's no doubt that they're looking for any opportunity to cut deals with anyone who can provide information. If Diddy decides to cooperate with the feds, it could spell disaster for a lot of people in the industry. It's not just about his involvement in illegal activities, it's about the entire network of individuals who might have been working alongside him or benefiting from his protection.
This is in the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records label owner.
This is why some believe that the recent attack on Diddy was a warning. Whoever ordered the hit may have been sending a message: keep quiet or else. After all, if Diddy were to start talking, the fallout would be immense. The entertainment industry is notoriously secretive, and the idea that someone like Diddy could lift the veil on years of corruption, backroom deals, and worse is enough to make even the most powerful figures nervous.
So why does Puffy, why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup.
But who could be behind it? It's not easy to say. Diddy has made plenty of enemies over the years, both in and out of the music world. It could be a former associate who fears that Diddy's downfall will drag them down as well. Or it could be someone with a personal vendetta, someone who's been waiting for the right moment to strike. And then, of course, there's the possibility that this was orchestrated by a group of people, individuals who all have something to lose if Diddy talks.
New at 5, the legal troubles continue for Sean Diddy Combs tonight after a judge ordered the music mogul to pay $100 million to a Michigan man who says that he was sexually assaulted by Combs in '97.
According to court documents, Derek Cardello Smith says Combs drugged and then assaulted him during an after party at a Holiday Inn in Detroit. But Combs never responded to the lawsuit in court.
It's also worth noting that Diddy has long been rumored to have connections to organized crime. These rumors have never been proven, but they've persisted throughout his career. If there's any truth to them, it's possible that his current situation has put him on the wrong side of some very dangerous people. Organized crime groups don't take kindly to loose ends, and if Diddy is seen as a liability, they might decide that it's better to eliminate the threat before it becomes too big to handle.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
And let's not forget the entertainment executives who've been rumored to be in Diddy's orbit. Over the years, there have been whispers about shady deals, backdoor agreements, and unethical practices involving some of the biggest names in the industry. If Diddy has information that could expose any of this, those individuals have every reason to want him silenced.
Okay, this is what I mean when I say people wake up every day and just volunteer lies. Diddy, how are we supposed to believe anything that comes out of your mouth? And furthermore, why should we not believe the rumors of things going in your mouth when you out here volunteering bold-faced lies? You would still be lying to us right now if it was no video. You didn't even apologize to Cassie in the video.
After all, the collapse of one figure could lead to a domino effect that takes down many more. At the end of the day, Diddy's situation is far from over. He's facing legal battles, personal vendettas, and potentially life-threatening danger from those who want to make sure he stays quiet. The question now is whether he can survive long enough to tell his side of the story, or whether the forces working against him will succeed in keeping him silent. The truth is, Diddy's entire life has been a balancing act, walking the line between power and vulnerability. He's used his influence, his connections, and, allegedly, his stash of secrets to stay on top. But now, for the first time, it looks like he might be losing control. Whether he's able to navigate his way out of this mess remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: whatever happens next will have a lasting impact on the entertainment world. People are waiting with bated breath to see if Diddy will make it out of this alive, or if his secrets will go down with him.
Diddy is now being sued in addition to what we just talked about by Dawn Richards. You guys will remember her. She was a part of Making the Band.
Dirty Money.
Dirty Money, the Danny Kane era. So basically what she is alleging, she's alleging a lot of different things.
So what do you think? Could this be the beginning of the end for Diddy? Is someone really trying to take him out to protect their own interests? Or is this just another chapter in the wild, unpredictable story of one of the most controversial figures in music history? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more updates as this story continues to unfold.